Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Pop. And today I am going to do some writing about a chicken. I did some research on a website called PebbleGo.com to find out interesting facts about chickens. I used this graphic organizer to help me organize all of the cool facts I learned about chickens. At the top, I have the name of my animal. It's a chicken. And I used the website PebbleGo.com to help me spell a lot of these words. I also found out about a chicken's body. I found out that it's a large bird and it has feathers on it. I also learned about its habitat, which is where it lives. I found out that usually chickens live on a farm. Next, I read about the food chickens eat. I learned that mostly chickens eat water and grain that a farmer feeds them. I also learned about a chicken's life cycle. Unlike humans, I found out that chickens come from eggs. They hatch from an egg. The cool fun fact that I decided to write down about chickens is that even though they are a large bird, they can't fly far. So now I get to take all of these cool things that I wrote down and I get to write them into sentences. And I know one thing about sentences is that they need a capital letter at the beginning. They need spaces between my words, and they also need a punctuation mark at the end of each sentence. So before I start writing my first sentence, I want to think about what my first sentence should say. I think I'll start at the top by telling my reader what I'm writing about. I'm writing about chickens. So maybe I could tell that a chicken is a large bird. Now I'm taking this idea here, well, it's not really an idea, but I'm taking the name of my animal, and I'm also in the same sentence telling one of the facts I learned, that it's a large bird. So my sentence might sound like this. A chicken is a large bird. I have an idea. I could even tell more in that first sentence by saying a chicken is a large bird with feathers. I really like that sentence better because it tells more. It has more details. So I think that's going to be my first sentence. Here I go. Remember, I need a capital letter. Chicken is a tough word. I know it has that ch sound, and I know ch makes the ch sound. I also can look right up here for help on how to spell the word chicken. A chicken. Now, what was I going to write again? I need to stop and think. I'm going to look back at my graphic organizer, and then I remember. A chicken is a large bird with feathers. Okay. A chicken is a, there's how I spell large. Large bird with feathers. Wait a minute, there's something I'm forgetting. A punctuation mark. A chicken is a large bird with feathers. I think I'll just put a period here. Let me reread my sentence. A chicken is a large bird with feathers. I like it. What can I tell next? Well, on my graphic organizer, the next thing I wrote down is that chickens live on a farm. I just wrote the word farm because I was taking notes But I can't just say farm if I'm writing sentences, so I need to put that word farm into a complete sentence. Maybe I could say, chickens live on farms. Let me see if that would fit with my first sentence. A chicken is a large bird with feathers. Chickens live on farms. Maybe I should say most chickens live on farms, because I know that not all chickens live on farms, but most of them do. I like it. I need a space after my period because it's a new sentence. Most. The word most is not up here in my graphic organizer, but I know that I can stretch those sounds out. Most. Sounds like an M. Wait a minute. I forgot my capital letter. I'm starting a new sentence. I need a capital M. Most. And chickens is a big word, but I remember it's up here to help me. Most chickens. Oh, what was I going to say again? Oh yeah, back on my graphic organizer, I was going to talk about a farm. Most chickens live on farms. Period. I want another period there. It's the end of my sentence. Let's reread what I have so far. A chicken is a large bird with feathers. Most chickens live on farms. Cool. What can I tell next? Let's look at the graphic organizer. That's right, I talked about food next, or I wrote about food next. Water, grain. Well, those words are not complete sentences, are they? How can I write a sentence that tells chickens eat grain and drink water? I could say chickens eat grain and drink water. I could also say farmers give chickens grain and water. I kind of like that sentence. Farmers give chickens grain and water. Friends, I like to practice my sentences out loud before I type them or before I write them, because then it helps my brain think about it and make sure it makes sense. So here I go. I need to make sure I space after that period so my words don't get jumbled up. Farmers feed chickens grain and water. Period. Cool. Next up is, oh yeah, I thought this was such a cool fact. Chickens hatch from an egg. Wouldn't that be funny if people hatched from eggs? How can I write a sentence about this? Maybe I will say, did you know chickens hatch from eggs? I kind of like that sentence. I need to make sure I space. Did you know that chickens hatch from eggs? I need a punctuation mark here. Let me reread this. Did you know that chickens hatch from eggs? What kind of punctuation mark do I need? A period? A question mark? Or an exclamation point? I think I need a question mark because, oops, sorry friends, let me get back down here where I was typing. I think I need a question mark because I'm asking a question. Listen again. Did you know that chickens hatch from eggs? Yeah, I need a question mark right there. Alright, I'm almost finished writing. last sentence is my fun fact. Chickens can't fly far. It's kind of funny, isn't it, that a chicken is a bird, but it can't really fly very far? I think that's kind of interesting. Let me think of my sentence. Maybe I'll say that. Even though a chicken is a bird, it can't fly far. I think I like that. Even though a chicken is a bird, it can't fly far. Even though a chicken is a bird, it can't fly far. Maybe I'll put an exclamation point there because I think it's I want to say it with a little bit of excitement. It can't fly far. It's shocking to me. Really interesting. The last thing I want to do is reread everything I wrote to make sure it makes sense. Here we go. A chicken is a large bird with feathers. Most chickens live on farms. Farmers feed chickens grain and water. Did you know that chickens hatch from eggs? Even though a chicken is a bird, it can't fly far. Awesome! I'm really happy with my writing. I can't wait to see what you all do with the cool facts you've learned. Happy writing!